right, guys, here we're going to talk about Season 4, Episode 14 of The Twilight Zone. So what did you think about this episode?
I thought I sort of like missed the mark or whatever. I thought it had a lot of potential, and I still think there's some good stuff in it. But at the end of the day, I thought they kind of copped out. They didn't like do the thing I wanted.
I think it had some of the strongest acting.
Yeah.
like really strong. But yeah, I think here and there, like I'm like, okay.
I have an exclusive relationship with the hen.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, seeing that guy get his comeuppance pretty good. So this is about a man who's got like all the money in the world, back in the day, and what is it, $28 million or some bullshit?
$36 million.
36.
I'll have you know.
Rich as fuck.
Yes.
So he gets an offer from the office looked like she was a travel agent or whatever, and she's a devil.
It was Devlin's Travel something or other. Yes.
So she offers to send him back to a better time. Back when he was a kid. What do you think he was, like 30 something?
She says you're 30.
Yeah.
I made the outside 30, you bitch.
Yeah. So he a keen bean that he is, sets all these parameters. Oh, I want to look like a blah blah. And I want to this and I want to that, and then he gets even like $1,400 or some shit.
Well, so this is the part that I actually liked, because the minute he says, "I wish I could go back. Now that I have it, it sucks. I really want to get it. That's my thing." I'm like, all right, obviously this guy in this weird bald cap is gonna go back, and then at the end they're gonna be switched.
Such an obvious one. So
yeah.
I was have almost predicted something ahead of time because you're like, okay, well.
Exactly. Also, I was like, okay, at the end they're going to be switched. So then I'm like, damn, I still have like 40 minutes left or 45, but this is, we barely started, and I've already predicted it, I'm so bored. But then the devil's a chick. Yeah. Right? Which is like, that's interesting, because usually he's just a dude with a cigar these days, or a fat man, right?
Very progressive.
Yeah. Then our like rich dude is, because usually they're like, a genie, what's that? 3 wishes, you say. Oh, where do I start? But now this guy's like, I know you stupid motherfucker. You want my soul, and here are my conditions, right? And then he lays it out. No, you're not tricking me this way. You're not tricking me that way. You're not tricking me this way. And then she goes, honestly though, let me check your file. You don't have much soul left, motherfucker. You're evil as fuck.
I like that aspect.
Yeah, I was like,
doing this, you lost 1/3 of your soul. Yeah. Doing this, you lost the rest.
You've been chipping away at it for like 50 years by fucking everyone over. So at this point, I'm gonna need cash. And she cleans him out with all of his like fortune. He has this little like suspicious amount of money left that he's somehow able to time travel with. Well, whatever, that's fine.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she said, I'm going to arrange all the things. She made his outfit, so I assume she swapped over his bills to period-appropriate bills or whatever.
I assume money was money, but yes, we got to do a little smoothing over there.
I wonder how much money there was like fraud back in the day, where people printing their own cash. Because it was a lot easier then, but I wonder if it was also a lot harder because the machinery didn't exist.
It's been a war.
Yeah.
A cold war.
But anyway, he goes back. He's got his money, almost the exact amount of money to buy this property that he knows will have oil on it, and gets screwed because his mind is all a little fucky and doesn't remember that, like, the ability to get this oil hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah, and that is dope when they're like, when he's like, oh, you motherfuckers, there's oil. And they're like, we know there's oil. It's so deep, though. No one, unless you invent a new drill, whatever. I'm like, oh, shit.
This is the part of the episode that I really enjoyed. Where I was like, yes, people often think they could go back in time and run the world. And I'm like, how much do you know about anything? Yes. And the answer is nothing. Yes. In my life, I think I've met one person ever who knows how things work. And everybody else thinks they do, but mostly they think everything is magic. And it's true. It is all magic.
But like, this is the thing. So like here in like the 60s, this is the meme of like, you go back in time, I'd be rich. Because I would just go to like I don't know, NASA or IBM and be like, make an iPhone. They'd be like, what are you talking about? And you're like, thinner, make it thinner. And like, they'd be like, how? What do you mean? There's
Give
no
me
way
the
to
diagrams and I will build it for you.
And this was literally, again, like progressive, kind of like generically, like so far ahead of its time to be like, yeah, you stupid bitch. If you went back in time and was like, no, you hit it with your foot and it works. It's $800 billion business. And they're like, what? Why? What? How? What do you mean? Like, no one knows. There's a montage of him trying to get people who are increasingly frustrated and disgusted with him. They're like, oh, this crazy motherfucker keeps trying to hound me. But I gotta build this. And they're like, dude, yeah, it's great.
So like this, I'll give him the thing of this is his time. So this would be like if we went back in time, like 30 years.
Yes.
Like I'd be a lot more in my element then to do something than where he is. So but he was in that element to where he was and still couldn't do it. But if you were to get a chance to go back in time, like you'd think this man who was a business mogul, he did it once.
Yes.
So he could do that again, whatever that was. But that was like you'd think he could just do whatever he did, but have $1,000 to start and kick it off so much easier. But doesn't do that.
This is where I think that they missed the mark. Because he goes into it like I'm gonna Biff Tannen this, this shit. Fuck all the other stuff I did. I'm gonna spend. Turns out basically all my money, like he has like $10 left or something like that to buy this land, and but he fucks it up. So my version of this episode is he has to live on that swamp. He's broke. He's trying to get a job, but he sucks at everything because he's an idiot, and he's just like a manipulative asshole, and everyone hates him. And he has to, he shacks up with that like chick that obnoxious chick that he hates, and life's just hell. And like the other guy keeps coming, hey, like you're, or like he like desperately needs money because he can't get a job.
Well, taxes would be due eventually, and he wouldn't have it.
And he's like, so he has to go back to those guys, and they're like, we could do a loan leveraging the property, and then he gets like slowly fucked out of that until eventually he just becomes, like 50 years later he becomes 80, and then he has to clean up that other guy's shit or something like that. I thought the reversal was going to be the guy that he fucked over would then either fuck him over, but or like be nicer than him and like treat him better or something like that to show him that he's so. I know, because we had to do it this way. So the major misstep is cursing him with 75-year-old organs so that he has to skip his whole life to then come back.
Yeah.
Now, it's harder to film this, and I get it, and I know why they didn't do that, but I would have loved just skip 5 years, skip 10 years, skip 5 years, show me this man's life progressively getting more and more fucked where he thinks he's hot shit and he keeps getting hit up against like a brick wall of like, no, dude, you got lucky and this time you didn't and you're fucked. You made one bad decision and you're fucked forever, dude. And this other guy's doing great, right? And like that's a lesson for like our times. I love that shit.
The two things that I was like expecting / rooting for was I wanted, and I know he made some stipulation of like the world as I know it has to be this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
But I figured the devil like turns that shit on its head all the time and just fucks you.
Like a little.
And I was expecting when they were like, of course there's oil on there. I expected like the raining donuts from the Simpsons style thing. Like there's oil everywhere. What do you mean oil?
What's oil?
Like something like that.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Or I would have liked, honestly, a happy ending episode where he bitches out the devil and he's like, and he's like the most successful motherfucker and he's still shitting all over everybody.
Where he has more than $36 million, and she's like, oh, we've tried this 10 times. It keeps outsmarting me. He keeps getting more money every time. This is a horrible thing. Yes, there you go. Yeah.
But like he even said, I thought, unless I made it up, I thought he's like, I know every invention from the blah blah. I know how all the stocks turned out and this and that. I thought he was going to play the stock market.
No, exactly.
Because that seemed like a more like even I could go back in time and play the stock market. And I'm not a stock guy at all. I go, I know. For a while we go with IBM, and we go to like Microsoft and Apple. Yahoo was pretty good. Like
famous Amazon. They want to sell more than books, and you're just like buying.
Yeah.
No, obviously, right? But like that's the misstep there, right? Where like they totally like. Him being broke and like never being able to get ahead enough to even invest or use any of his knowledge or do anything. It's such a greater like shitty awesome lesson.
And it makes sense though that his mind's like not there because at 70 or however old he is, you would miss details and forget things and just fuck up. And like he did that in a very realistic way. I thought that was a pretty good part of the episode.
That's what I thought might have happened too, where she's like, well, this is as you remember it, but you're full of shit.
Well, that is how he remembered it because that girl wasn't nearly as good as because when he was a shitbag, eating shit for a living, that girl was a catch. Yes. As he came back with this mindset of like I've been trumping it up and grabbing people by the pussy, that's nothing to me.
But so like that's the real girl, the way that he did. For a minute, I thought. I thought they were doing something where like the devil created the reality with his fake, his like misrememberings or whatever. But this is better, where like he is in the real world, but he didn't remember it. He remembers it.
The good old days is always great when someone's remembering back.
So in this like longer montage, he could have been like, I finally have enough money. Here's my chance. It's the day before this big thing, and then like he fucks it up and loses all of his money again, and then like his obnoxious wife is cheating on him, and then the other guys are like, ha, money, and just doing over there. It's this whole like that would have been like I think a smarter way to have him like get his comeuppance, because like having the old mind is like great, but once your physical organs are old, now it's like Tales from the Crypt. Now it's like, well, you're just gonna die of natural causes in 15 years or whatever anyway.
Probably less then.
I don't know, right? So like I was like, oh well, so something goofy has to happen, and she like links him back to the future.
And that future is like I don't even know if I would choose that to go back.
Right.
Like I get like because he went back poor. He was poor in the past. At least he looked 30 in the past. Like he could have swung something, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know how much that trade was, and I thought the ending was just lazy. It felt weird. We're like, And I know she threw in a little thing of like, and like everything you've altered will have carried through, so he doesn't have the memory, like that is the first time for him going like, oh yes, sir, I've always been your slave, little like whatever.
Oh, I thought that okay, maybe, yeah.
Because if he remembered any of that, none of that would make sense at all.
Well, that's why I think it's like a bad ending, because like the nice guy became a shitbag, so like that's my lesson is like whoever gets lucky and randomly gets some early money becomes a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Well, that's just a fact. It's not really a lesson.
No. But I mean, like, that's like, this is supposed to be about, because it ends on that guy, oh, I got a gold watch. And the guy's like, fuck you. It's this whole thing. Yeah. So, like, it's about seeing this dude.
I'll buy you a farm in 30 years.
Yes. Maybe in 80 more years, just in fucking 40 more years, like well after his death, I'll buy you something else. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. So like, yes, like it's about hating that original horrible rich man and seeing him be like destroyed. But yeah, if he doesn't even know that what he's missing.
As I took it, because she changed the future completely based on what he did, I think he had no recollection of what he was. Or else I can't imagine him getting a job there. Wouldn't he get a job anywhere else to be out of that area? I know because they only have so many sets.
No, for like the mirroring, because they have the same dialogue.
For the purpose of the episode, you have the mirroring. Right. But in reality, like if I was your slave and we switched and you now are going to be my slave, you're not working there. You'll work anywhere else.
Because I know what's going to happen. Yeah. Exactly, right. So either he like does remember, but it's bad, or he doesn't remember and it's not as satisfying as they think it is, right?
That's my thought.
I don't think the ending's good, right?
There's a great part of the episode where he's just got off the train, he's now in the past, and he takes a cigar and like he's talking there, and like he bites off the end and then chews it for a little while, and then spits it. But there's like cigar in his mouth. Like that's not what you do. Like
no, because like early he's trying to show I'm a crude asshole, and he goes ha, and like spits like I'm just an animal. And yes, he like chews it like gum, and then goes like I'm chewing a cigar, and then spits it out, and it's like on his tongue. It's amazing. The other thing I liked right in the beginning was the other guy says like, to like the elevator hop man, like, take me down if there's any floor lower than this or something like that, to be like, oh, like that motherfucker sucks so much. Yeah.
It was a decent episode though. I didn't hate, as far as the hour-long episodes go, this one is better than most.
I was going to say, like, this is probably one of the better ones, right? The ending is not great, but I still think it's like got a good core to it,
Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys, that's our thoughts on the episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Justdaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.